Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Betty. I'm a nurse who was trained in Jamaica, currently living in the UK, working as a registered nurse. And yes, you saw that the title, it is correct. I have been here 2+ years and I'm basically just going to be talking about it. I have some previous videos of like different landmarks. So one was 1 year, one was I think 9 months, 11 months. I could be wrong, but just check out my previous videos, you'll see it. So yeah, 2+ years in the UK. How I've done it, God alone. God alone. But yeah, let's get straight into the video. I just wanted to talk about a few things. I made a few notes on my phone, so I might be just looking down for reference. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is life lessons that I have learned living in the UK. So, the first thing, I think I have grown personally and professionally. So, personally, we'll cover a whole range of things, but professionally, I have gained so much backbone. Yeah. To be fair, when I was in Jamaica, I only worked as a resort nurse. So I didn't really have much. I've done a few shifts on the ward, but that was even at a private hospital. But yeah, I've come a long way compared to myself as a student, myself as a newly graduated nurse. Coming here to the UK, I've learned so much about nursing fields that you can only learn with hands-on training. Not everything can be found in a textbook. Not everything can be learned in a lecture. Let me just say that. And the type of person who I was in school compared to who I am in the working world, two different people. Now, I'm not saying I didn't care about school, that I wasn't focused, but I believe I'm a more hands-on person. So yes, well, I did learn some things from school. It wasn't until I was actually learning about specific patients or actually taking on certain cases that everything started to click, the dots started to connect, the T started to cross, and the I started to dot. So if you're a newly registered nurse or if you're a student nurse, if you can comment down below that you are, just let me know. This is just some encouragement that school does not determine who you will be in the future. I know of nurses who were excellent students, and then once they got into the working world, crash right out, different person. So don't let school determine what your future will be like. Use it as a stepping stone towards your career. Another thing, managing homesickness and missing family. That's a huge one. And I think once you're from a different country and you come here, especially if you don't have like a spouse and children, that's gonna happen off the bat. And how I've dealt with it, so my family, I speak to them more than I speak to anyone even in the country. I talk to them every day, sometimes twice a day. Bear in mind these people are halfway across the world. So that's just a suggestion. If you're here, you can reach out to your family, talk to them, video calls. Another option is building a good support system in the UK. For nurses, it's really easy, very easy to build connections with your colleagues because these are people that you see every day. You see them every day. You trauma bond because the wards aren't easy. So you go through similar situations with maybe patients, with maybe doctors, maybe other nurses, and you kind of build a trauma bond. Probably shouldn't use that term, but it's true. So you've been through the same things and you bond over that. And yeah, you decide to take it outside of work, probably go on some fun adventures, some fun trips. I've done a few with colleagues and 10 out of 10 always enjoy myself. So it's good to have a great support system. Once you're away, trust me, really important. Please don't downplay it. It's good for your mental health, good for relieving stress. If you don't have a support system, I can't see people lasting very long here in this country. But yeah, you can look at this video. I've tagged it here. That was the time that I spent last January with some colleagues. So while we're on the topic of professional, your girl has, well, I haven't started yet, but I'm going to be starting a new role. Still in diabetes. I'm still going to be a nurse working in diabetes, but my location will be changed. I will be working in London. And my role is going to be not really different, but it's going to be more, which with diabetes it can be a lot, but I think I'll be able to navigate it. I feel like every time I do one of these videos, I'm in a different role or looking forward to something different, which is not bad. I'm not complaining. I hope next year when I'm doing my 3-year catch up, maybe it will be a band 7. I don't know. Putting it out there. God, if you heard that, you know, do your stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited. The funny thing is, to get to like the whole process for that role took a bit long, but it felt worth it.
And I must say that everything happened when it should.
It took longer, but the timing could not have been. The timing is just on point, and that is 100% God alone. So let me just put that out there. I just want to say that it's probably a good idea for me to create a video about how to apply. If you're already in the UK, how to apply for roles that will make you successful in terms of being able to get the job, and also how to land the interview. I've never failed an interview, and I think the reason a lot of people struggle with interviews is because of how they view them. Interviews are just a way for me to sell myself to my future colleagues. Yeah, you're not a stranger to me. You are somebody I'm going to be working with. And comment below if you think I should make some videos on that, because I don't think it's just under the nursing umbrella. I think this can be helpful to anyone, because nursing wasn't my first career. I've worked in BPOs. Yeah, I've worked in BPOs. So just comment below if you'd like to see a video on that. I'll give you my tips on how I land every interview that I have ever done. So I've been living alone for almost a year. And a lot of people would say, Betty, isn't it lonely? Isn't it expensive? Isn't it this? Isn't it that? And my answer is always yes. It's always yes, but we have to adapt. We're people. We're human beings. We're creatures of adaptation and such. And as such, we have to adapt. So living alone doesn't always equate to feeling lonely, right? I personally feel the times I've felt the most loneliest is when I'm around certain people. Yeah, so I could be at home. I don't think I've ever been home and felt lonely at home. When I'm at home, there's so much for me to do. I don't have time to be lonely. And then my family is only a phone call away. So if I feel like I haven't spoken or, use my voice for a little while, I'll call them and talk to them. However, in terms of loneliness, it's not really, people cope in different ways. Okay, let's just say that. People cope in different ways. For me, if I'm in an area where I feel lonely, I just remove myself from that area and find something that makes me feel less lonely. I don't know what to suggest. Please, if you guys have any suggestions, please just comment it below so I can know what you do. Maybe it might help for me. We never know. Let's just share ideas. I find so many perks to living alone. For example, if I decide that I want to go out for a little walk or walk to the gym, there's nobody to say, Betty, should you be doing that now? You know, but we have this to do, or we said we were going to. It's just me, myself, and I. Whatever I decide that I want to do, I just do. If I decide I want to go down to B&Q to look at some plants, I just step out and go. I remember one Monday, it was a bank holiday, and I like animals. I love dogs. I like furry animals, rabbits, guinea pigs. I love animals. And since being here, I'm not allowed to have any pets in my apartment. So I decided one Monday, you know what? Let me go to a pet store and see, just have a feeling of just remind myself what a pet feels like, what they look like. And I took it myself, went on a bus. That was like an hour's journey. Went to a pet shop, looked around, walked around in the town, and came back. I had a very good day. Some people may have found it boring. I enjoyed myself because I got to see pets. I got some Jamaican food, which is not in my near community, so that was nice. And it's gonna be different for everyone. So I really enjoy those little bits of living alone. Now the flip side, apart from the loneliness, is the finances. So the number one thing I will say, because honestly, the money, the peace of mind is great, but I would not suggest to anyone to just come and live here by yourself. Financially, living on your own is not the best way to save, but I'm in a certain situation, which I'll probably speak about later on. Nothing bad, it's just convenience at the moment. And at my big age, I think it's okay for me to spend a little on convenience. So it's convenient for me to be living like this. And I do extra shifts. So I go back to the ward sometime. I still go to bedside, do a few shifts, and I'm able to afford it. But you do get burnt out sometimes. So just watch that work-life balance. It works for me, but I can't do it consistently every week. So that's just something to consider. Now, a lot of people have said that UK is an expensive place, and it's true. No lies. No lies were told. This place is expensive. Penny pinchers. Yeah. That's what I would call this country. Penny pinchers, because your money, if you're not careful, will be like water through a sieve. That bad. Yeah. If you're not careful. So for me, I wouldn't say I'm low maintenance, but I care more about how it fits in with me compared to the brand. I don't want to say quantity over quality. I do appreciate quality, but I'm not someone who chases name brands, because why? You have things that are way more expensive and they last just as long as the things that are cheaper. So Primark, my friend, that's cousin, BFF. Yeah, I will go to Primark. I will go to Poundland as well. But the name brand shops, I will go in there to look, because there's no way you can get this girl to spend 200 and something or 100 and something pounds on one item of clothing. Nah. In this economy, nah. Living by myself, nah. So yeah. And I should mention that, so for me, I like to buy stuff online. So I've purchased a few pieces of clothing from Shein, from Temu, maybe some other stores as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Shein and Temu is definitely top two. And what I do is I'll wear clothes, but I'm the type of person after a while I just don't wear it anymore. So instead of just having a bunch of clothes sitting down, I have joined Vinted where I'm able to resell my clothes. So I resell them and make a little money off of it. And I also look for pieces on Vinted as well. If a matter of fact, this romper, it's a romper, I'm not gonna stand up. But I think it's a very cute romper. They call it a play suit, or I'm not sure what they call it here, but I thought it was really cute. They had my size and I paid like £2 for it. And it's very roomy, very airy. It has pockets. Yeah, pockets. And I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't have known. You can actually get really good quality stuff from Vinted, because remember, these are things that people paid a lot of money for, or probably not a lot, and they're reselling them. So that way I can make money and save money. So that's my new thing. Another platform that I use is Olio, and this is an app where people display things that they're giving away. So it could be furniture, it could be clothing, it could be plants. And I'm going to show you some stuff. Well, I'm not going to show you some stuff, just two things that I've gotten from the app that has made my life here a little bit more comfortable. So one, I'm sitting on it. I got this whole couch, yeah, for free. It has two reclining sides, so after a long day I can come just sit down, open the recliner, relax. This couch looks at least £200. I'm not even kidding. It's at least £200. When I checked on Google, that's what it was. But I got it free of charge because these people were moving and they didn't want to carry this big couch with them, and they didn't want to have to pay for anyone to get rid of it. So they just advertised it and I took it. Another thing I got, someone was giving away plant pots and I collected all of them. It was like maybe 40 or 30 plants. I find joy in very simple things. For me, in terms of managing stress, I have plants that I take care of, and just being, I like pets and I'm not able to have any, as I said before. So being able to manage or just take care of them, watch them grow, is very therapeutic for me, right? I also enjoy shopping. So even if it's going to be a window shopping type of day, yeah, that's therapy for me as well. Or even just taking up my phone, scrolling through Shein, scrolling through Icy Hair, scrolling through Temu, Amazon. It's very stress relieving for me. Other things I do, I go for walks. I recently did a walk from where I live to neighboring town, which on Google Maps said it should have taken 3 hours, but I'm not the fittest. Yeah, no question marks there. It took me about 5 hours, give or take. No, it took me 5 hours about. That was fun actually. Tiring, but it felt rewarding at the end. I also like going to the gym, and my gym has a pool. I love swimming, so I do a lot of swimming there. Probably not as much as I should or I used to, but yeah, I'll do some swimming there. Honestly, that's my day-to-day fun time. I am introverted, so me doing those activities by myself is peace enough for me. I do enjoy taking the train. A lot of people just see the train as a means to get to point A to point B. But for me, I would just take the train as a day out. So if I have any reason to go to London, a part of the enjoyment is taking the train. So I do enjoy taking the train. And I'm going to be starting this new job. It's in London, which means I am going to have to take the train. The only thing is I hope it doesn't take away that enjoyment of the train, and I don't see it as a burden to go, because I'm going to be going through the busy times. You know, everyone is going to work, everyone is going to school. It's going to be a busy time, but I think it's doable. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Just a little preview is not the word, but just a little prips or a little peek into my life 2 years since I've been here. I've learned a lot. As I mentioned, I've grown personally, professionally, spiritually. We're working on the financially. We're working on that. But every alley, I think I have grown. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful. As I tell people, life doesn't really start in your 20s. The 20s is like the trailer. I believe your life really starts at 30. Um because I actually came here at 30 years old. And yeah, my life has just been drastically changed for the better. There have been some moments of not so greatness, but for the most part, I'm grateful. God has been amazing. And yeah, I would love to continue on this YouTube journey. I am such a procrastinator. I'm trying to work on that every day. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please comment below if there's anything that you would like me to maybe touch on, any topics. You can just drop them in the comment, and I will see you in the next video.